My new boss bullied everyone and fired me for a ridiculous reason. But 5 minutes later, he was the one being escorted out. So I started working at my dad's company 3 months ago in the accounting department. Nobody knew who I was, because I went by my mom's last name, and my dad wanted me to learn the business from the ground up without special treatment. Everything was actually going pretty well, until they brought in this new supervisor named Derek, about a month into my job. This guy showed up on his first day wearing a suit that was way too expensive for his position, and immediately started throwing his weight around. He called a department meeting and told us that things were going to change, and we needed to start acting like professionals instead of lazy college kids. Mind you, half our team had been there for over 5 years. At first it was just annoying stuff like making us clock in exactly at 8:30, even though we always had flexible start times as long as we got our work done. Then he started doing these power plays where he'd stand behind people while they worked and just breathe down their necks. He'd point at their screens and tell them they were doing everything wrong, even though our numbers were better than they'd been in years. The worst part was how he talked to people. He'd call Janet, who'd been there 12 years, sweetheart, and tell her maybe she should consider retiring if she couldn't keep up with his new systems. He told Miguel his accent was unprofessional during client calls even though Miguel was born in Ohio, but he saved his special hatred for me. I think it was because I was the youngest one there, and he thought I'd be an easy target. He started giving me all the worst assignments and making me redo work that was already perfect. He'd send me emails at 11 p.m. and expect responses within the hour. One time I brought lunch from this Thai place down the street, and he told me ethnic food was inappropriate for the office and made me eat in my car. My coworkers kept telling me to report him, but I wanted to see how far this would go. Then yesterday happened. I came in wearing jeans because it was Friday, and we'd always had casual Fridays. Derek lost his mind. He called me into his office with the door open so everyone could hear, and started screaming about how I was disrespecting him and the company. He said I dressed like I worked at a gas station and that maybe I should go find a job there instead. Then he said the thing that really set everything in motion. He told me I had until tomorrow to clear out my desk because he was done with my attitude and I was fired. He actually used air quotes when he said attitude. He told me I could either resign quietly or he'd make sure I never worked in this city again because he had connections everywhere. I just nodded and said, okay. He seemed surprised I didn't argue, but then got even madder and told me to get out of his office. I went back to my desk and started packing while everyone watched. Janet was literally crying, and Miguel kept saying this wasn't legal. Derek came out of his office and announced to everyone that this was what happened to people who couldn't follow simple rules. That's when I pulled out my phone and called my dad. I put him on speaker and said, hey dad, I'm getting fired and need to clean out my desk tomorrow. Derek started laughing. He actually pointed at me and laughed, saying, oh, this is perfect. You're calling daddy to cry about losing your job. He walked closer and said loud enough for everyone to hear that maybe daddy could get me a job at McDonald's since I couldn't handle real work. He was still laughing when my dad asked who was firing me, and I said, Derek, the new supervisor. Derek was doing this fake crying voice, saying, boo-hoo daddy, they're being mean to me, when my dad's tone changed completely. The whole floor went silent, but Derek was still chuckling when my dad asked to speak to Derek directly. I handed him the phone, and Derek took it while smirking at everyone like this was the funniest thing ever. He said, yeah, this is Derek in a cocky voice. My dad's voice came through clear as day, asking Derek to please explain why he was firing his son. Derek's laugh cut off mid-breath. His face started doing this thing where it went from red to white to red again. He dropped the phone, and I had to pick it up. Derek started stuttering and saying he didn't know, and there must be some misunderstanding. My dad told him the only misunderstanding was Derek thinking he had any authority left in this building, and that security would be up in 5 minutes to escort him out. Then my dad asked me to come up to his office on the top floor. Derek tried to follow me to the elevator saying we could work this out, and he was just trying to maintain standards. I told him the only standard he maintained was being consistently terrible to everyone. Security showed up right as the elevator doors closed.